Every year, new Java frameworks appear. Spring Boot gets smarter, Micronaut gets lighter, Quarkus gets faster. And in the middle of all this innovation, it might sound crazy to say this, but I still like the Struts framework. Not ironically. Not sarcastically. I genuinely appreciate Struts, even today. Because Struts wasn't just code. It was a philosophy, a way of building web applications that shaped an entire generation of developers. Let's talk about why. Back in the early 2000s, when web development was exploding, Struts was the framework that brought order to chaos. It introduced the MVC pattern in a clean, structured way. It didn't hide anything behind annotations or magical helpers. It showed you the full request path. A browser sends a request, it hits the action servlet. It's mapped in struts-config.xml. An action form processes the data. The action class performs business logic. A JSP returns the final view. You didn't just write code. You understood how the web worked. Today, frameworks automate so much that many new developers never learn the fundamentals. But Struts made you learn them step by step. Another reason I still like Struts is something people often mock: XML. But XML-based configuration taught discipline. It forced clarity. You couldn't just sprinkle annotations everywhere and hope for the best. You had to define every route, every action, every forward. Debugging meant reading, understanding, and fixing your architecture, not searching for a hidden annotation in line 427 of a controller class. Struts rewarded developers who knew what they were doing. And let's talk about stability. Struts was rock solid. Enterprises loved it because it didn't break randomly. It didn't have 200 overlapping features. It didn't introduce breaking changes every year. It was consistent, stable, and predictable. Those qualities made Struts the backbone of banks, government systems, HR portals, insurance apps, and global enterprise platforms. Even today, some of those systems still run on Struts, quietly doing their job without fanfare. And it's not just nostalgia. Struts genuinely shaped the Java ecosystem. Spring MVC was heavily influenced by Struts. Many validation and request mapping patterns come directly from it. Even today's annotation-driven frameworks still reflect ideas that Struts pioneered. It's like the grandfather of Java web frameworks. You may not see it in the room, but you see its influence everywhere. Now there's another reason I still like Struts. And this one is personal. Struts represents a time when Java development felt simpler. You wrote code. You deployed a WAR file. Your server restarted, and your app worked. No containers. No orchestration. No microservices network debugging at 3 a.m. No 15 YML files controlling your life. Just Java. Just MVC. Just clean architecture. Struts also made teams better. Because everything was explicit, entire teams operated from the same mental model. No developer hid logic inside obscure annotations or tricky dependency injection patterns. Everything was where you expected it to be. You could hand a Struts project to a new developer and say, "Start with Struts config, XML," and they would understand the application flow in minutes. That clarity is rare today. Is Struts perfect? Of course not. It's old. It's limited. It's not meant for microservices or reactive architectures. But for its time, and even by today's standards, it was a beautifully structured framework. And sometimes liking Struts isn't really about Struts itself. It's about appreciating the foundations that taught us how to build software with discipline, clarity, and intention. Struts made me a better developer. It shaped my thinking. It sharpened my understanding of web architecture. And it gave me a deep appreciation for structured design. That's why I still like the Struts framework. If this brought back memories, hit like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what was your first Java framework?